Good afternoon, everybody, and I can already tell this is going to be one of those days because I already screwed up the intro once, but you won't see that on YouTube. We've got a whole lot to talk about. This is a 3-week roundup. We've got stuff from ArenaNet on the unreleased Unreal and mobile games, screenshots, but they're damn cool. We've got a new patch. We've got Gemstore Stuffs, and we've got people leaving, and sadly a passing away from somebody who was part of the Guild Wars 2, part of the Guild Wars universe. But before we get into that, we have our special guest this week, KROOF. YouTube, KROOF Gaming, Twitch, KROOF Gaming, doing all kinds of fun stuff. How are you today?
Hello, I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Lemonade is just flowing from my refrigerator and warm tea. I'm not drinking lemonade right now, but it's also not in my refrigerator. I lied about that.
No.
My 2021 resolution is just to be better at lying. So I'm practicing.
Now I just want lemonade, but...
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, I know. But, and finally, the third host for today's show, he streams over on Twitch, where he answers the age-old question, why is lemonade?
What is happening? At first I thought KROOF was doing some Willy Wonka stuff with his fridge. I'm like, what?
Oh my god. Willy Wonka.
Oh god, let's not quote from that movie. Let's if we're gonna quote a Willy Wonka, it's got to be the one with Gene Wilder because
they both have their places.
That's fair. I can agree with that. But oh boy, a 3-week roundup. I suppose the best place to start here, let's just get this out of the way, is patch notes from this past Tuesday. We actually got some balance shenanigans going on here. Let me set my windows up properly so I can see shit. Talking Skritt off the rails. Yes, ZeKrioX. That's well, I mean it's talking Skritt. What else?
How
do you
can you
expect
be
with
off the
Skritt?
rails when you don't have any?
So we got a whole lot of PvP balance, PvP, and I think a little bit of WW balance. Profession skills: Elementalist, Stone Resonance, and Lesser Stone Resonance. Reduced base barrier pulse from 1,069 to 535 in PvP only.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Love it. Needs more.
It was the one thing that I remember talking about in our Discord channel. Link in the description. Subtle plug. The problem with these weavers in PvP is you'll get them low, and then you'll see just this giant amount of barrier pop up, and then they'll go through a full rotation of water skills, and their health will pop back up, and you have to lather, rinse, repeat.
With 5 evades.
Yeah.
Oh, is this equivalent to Thief running away?
No, it's actually more infuriating than Thief running away.
It is.
Because the Thief has to at least disengage. The Weaver
and
doesn't
at least
have to
for
disengage.
Thief, I feel like at this point, it's been accepted by the community that thieves are very squishy and that's their play style. But with elementalists and weavers, it's just like, now you're a high damage dealing, chonky, really thick spell casting melee and also long range. It's just a lot.
Yeah. It's the problem is the Thief has to disengage, set up the next burst window, disengage, set up the next burst window. The Weaver just gets to sit there and grind you down slowly while playing yo-yo with their own health pool. So
I see.
yeah, not something that Thieves do. So in this case, I am not complaining about Thieves. In fact, I don't think Thieves actually got anything. No, 0 stuff for Thieves in this patch. Engineer
Thief
got
mains rejoice.
it's Engineer and the Warriors apparently. They got the most love in this patch. So speaking of Engineers, this is probably good for me because I swapped out of Engineer for PvP. Impact Savant, reduced damage to barrier conversion from 15% to 10% in PvP only. Flash Shell, which is the blind on the mortar kit, Reduced damage or reduced blindness duration from 5. Holy shit. That was a 5-second blind.
Mhm.
Gugh. And increased cooldown from 20 seconds to 30 seconds in PvP only. Bulwark Gyro, reduced base barrier pulse from 726 to 508 in PvP. Soothing Detonation, fixed a bug in which this trait would incorrectly trigger if a tool belt skill was interrupted. And Detection Pulse, fixed a bug in which the skill would reveal enemies with Aegis. Fixed a bug in which this skill would not reveal downed enemies. Okay, so it's a little buff for engineers in that they can properly reveal downed targets, but that's all there is there.
Yeah, it's to say, like, eventually the blind nerfs aren't really nerfs if you know how to play around blind anyway. So
I suppose that the problem
Yeah.
is that it's such a big window. Like most
that's
blinds,
it. Yeah,
like most blinds are relatively low, so that you applying the blind requires some skill.
Yeah.
yeah.
Unless
So-
you're
And
These
even
ones.
even then, I guess I just have really bad luck with blinds, but it's always the moment I'm about to do like a really big skill. So I'm all in favor of reducing, especially long windows at like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, like, blind is supposed to be used like when someone's gonna auto attack you, when you think someone's gonna auto attack you. So it's a decent window, I would say, 2 seconds. It's
It's okay, yeah.
yeah,
2 seconds in Guild Wars 2 PvP it's a lot. 2 seconds is a lot in PvP in this game.
No.
Yeah.
But the increase from 20 to 30 seconds is also pretty impactful.
Yeah, that means that
It's relatively a strong nerf for this particular skill.
maybe we'll actually see more supply drop. Like I personally, when I was playing my engineer, I used a lot of supply drop because, like, my brain, I can only handle 2 weapons. I'm sorry, I can't be the engineer playing piano with 6 different weapons going on. But just even having my main weapon and then my kit and then mortar kit on top of that, just I'm not doing it. So
Yeah.
this makes me using supply drop instead better. Yay. This is not the Lich Form nerf that I wanted. Send it back, ArenaNet. Necromancer. Oh wait, I'm skipping Guardian. My bad.
No, we can skip it. It's fine. I'm a necro main, but it's what I'm not a necro. I'm a guardian main, but it's whatever. It's nothing.
Well, this one, I can see how this would be infuriating. Dragon's Maw fixed a bug in which the trap would be created at the incorrect location if the Guardian moved during the arming time.
Yeah. Nice bug fix.
It's like if you drop it
I didn't notice it.
and then you're moving, apparently it would move the trap in some way, shape, or form. Like you have the
Couldn't
cast
imagine it would
time.
move it a lot.
Yeah, I know there's cast. I thought you can't move during the cast time.
No, you can move while casting traps because you'll cast it and it will drop as soon as the cast bar is done. And then there's another brief period of time before the trap arms to be triggered. So apparently in that window between when it drops and when it is able to be triggered, you moving would move the trap in some way.
Which sounds like it's the opposite, because shouldn't it be where the cast time ends?
Yep, it should be wherever the cast time ends, and that's what I'm assuming they fixed. So
Yeah.
the only thing I can think of is like a Dragon Hunter is running along and they pre-cast it, and like that's how this bug was being abused. They pre-cast it and then they F2 to a location. So then the Dragon's Maw arms at their location.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically hit people with a massive CC without them actually seeing the wind-up for it.
The wind-ups are already pretty subtle, so like
Because it's
pretty minor, but like it's a nice bug fix. It's not supposed to happen, I think, is like the main thing.
Because what most of the traps for any class that has traps, it's like just kind of they kind of pull their fist in and then the trap just kind of happens. Because I know if you're standing still, like they actually lean down and like touch the ground, and then the trap sets up. But imagine a bug that you can slingshot a trap 600 in front of the direction you're. Yeah, that's.
Or like Mesmer Portal. That would probably be the most extreme case. But no one uses Mesmer Portal in PvP too much.
No,
or do they?
But that would be
Yeah.
awful. That
Yeah.
would be awful.
It'd be fun
Just-
though. But I'm actually more surprised that like they didn't do more nerfs to Guardian, because I haven't seen like substantial Guardian balance for like quite some time,
Well, at least the traps don't
especially
daze.
with burning.
The traps don't daze anymore. So,
Okay, it's fine.
because I remember dealing with dragon hunters when the traps dazed, and that was awful. I don't know. I don't know about burning because like it's a single condition, and if you cleanse the burning, you basically
Oh my.
well, it does. It does a lot of damage, and that's what burning does. But I mean, you know, when a guardian comes at you, if they're not doing power damage, they're hitting you with burning. So it's just like, okay, I'll let you stack up your burning, and there goes your entire burn burst.
Even with the burst, I sometimes feel like they have so much access to it that it becomes so constant. And oftentimes Condi removal isn't such a constant thing that people can do too much.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying like take away all the burning, but I would say like maybe increase a couple cooldowns for a couple more seconds just to kind of space it out a little bit more.
It's something would have to be done about Virtue of Justice, because I think a lot of the guardian burning just comes from that.
Passive, just hitting.
And then once you have the one virtues trait where it's every 3 hits instead of 5.
And AoE.
And ZeKrioX guardians have chill in their kit because they want you to be confused.
Only with the hammer, right?
There was a point in time during Path of Fire development before it launched where they said they were going to change it to slow.
They should have. I want that one to be a taunt, actually. But, oh well.
That actually would be kind of cool. For a giant...
More so for
AoE taunt
PvE.
burst.
But they could be like slow in PvP.
I wouldn't even mind it being a taunt, but taunt I think is a little too powerful in PvP with the...
Yeah.
Because that's the Glacial Heart modifies the 2, right? The jump forward with the hammer.
And it's on a pretty short cooldown.
Yeah. So that short cooldown of a taunt would be awful.
Yeah, in PvP it'd be rough.
But
in PvE it could be like a tanking guardian.
Hammer's good for that too, with the protection symbol on the auto attack. So.
Getting into my brain.
Well, it's because when raiding came out, I tanked on my guardian with a hammer. So.
I did some support with that hammer.
Yeah.
Symbol of persistence, or no, rid of persistence is the trait. Symbol healing.
Okay, so I flubbed into Necromancer earlier. Bug fix on Lich form. Fixed a bug in which this skill would go on full cooldown if interrupted after a certain point during the casting time. I've actually run afoul of that bug. I've lost my cooldown
I think I have too.
By getting interrupted in like the last, I want to say 25% of the cast.
What? Wait, but that's transforming into it?
No, it's at the very like the back quarter of the cast. If you get hit with an interrupt before you finish the cast and transform, it was putting it on the full skill cooldown, not the interrupt cooldown. So you were getting the full like 3-minute cooldown instead of the 10-second cooldown for getting interrupted.
I think I came across that bug I like once because I was doing a lot of necro PvP recently.
The nerf for Lich form and Lich form.
But still, Lich form is so strong.
That's why it needs nerfed. Lich 1
honestly
does not need to be that
the
strong.
Interrupt factor, I would have been like, you know what? It's a nice trade-off for the interrupt factor. If you successfully interrupt the channeling of the Lich form, it goes on its full cooldown. Yeah, it's a bug and it doesn't feel great. But I'm like, Lich form is just so strong to begin with that I was like, it's like, okay.
Important question in Discord.
Okay, 1 second. I have an important question being sent to me.
Ooh.
I need to figure out what. I sure was the light in the kitchen. Was the light hooked up to 2 wires each? 2 ground, 2 black, 2 white. Sorry, electrical questions. If you want to keep talking about Lich or anything else in PvP.
Oh, okay. How does Lich Form get abused? You press the skill, and then you spam 1 and 2. It's just it has a really high power attribute.
Seems accurate. I haven't used Lich Form in a long time, actually. I think the first time I played Necro, I played Lich Form. I used Lich Form a lot, but I think this is when Hot came out. So I either used the Chill to the Bone, or was it Chill to the Bone? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I either used that or Lich Form. Yeah, that's all I got.
It's just.
I would.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you can go. You can go.
Zach, I would nerf the damage on skill 1. The skill 1 on Lich Form, you don't have to use the other abilities. Like, that's the problem with Lich Form. And honestly, the 2, you
slightly, the 2. I was going to talk about the 2. Just like slightly increase the cooldown because it's an ammo skill, and it doesn't require cast, so you just automatically fire it off, which stacks up a lot of damage. Just pressing 1 and 2 really, really fast.
Yeah,
and
like
you
when
kill
I
things
have
like in a second.
I have a Logitech G600 mouse, and I hit Lich Form, and I literally just tap, because I can click 1 and 2 on my mouse at the same time, and that's all I do. Is I hit Lich
have
Form.
an MMO mouse.
I hit Lich Form, and I get into the fight, and I pick the target that everybody's targeting, and I just hit 1 and 2 at the same time. Even if the ammo on 2 isn't going anywhere, there's no cast time on it. So you can cast 1 and 2 at the same time. Like, in Lich Form on my Reaper with very little setup, I'm hitting 6k crits.
It's rough.
Now the addendum to that is that if an engineer with barrier gyro hits their tool belt skill and literally just stands on top of you, you don't get to do anything because they have the projectile destroy bubble. So you can be stopped, and like Guardians have so much projectile hate. Heck, even other Necros, if they're running Corrosive Poison Cloud, there's projectile hate right there. Plus, that's if you're going Condi. Like Thief, you actually have to be able to target them properly.
Yeah.
So
a smoke screen as well, or a mesmer feedback.
Yeah.
There's many different ways, but typically when people go into Lich Form, it's kind of like panic mode, and it's so quick and fast that like the Lich can also move away from it. People are moving anyway. It's a tense PvP situation. You're getting pulled, thrown away, like immobilized in certain places.
And then Lich also has the stacking stability, so like a lot of
I mean, you have a fear, you can make people run out of it.
At least the fear has a decent cast time on it.
Yeah, that's true. And the 3, 4, and 5 are all pretty like okay. But I've been watching a lot of old Guild Wars 2, like 2010, 2011 demo footage. And I would have liked if they had changed Lich Form back to the old. It lasts for like 30 seconds. And it's more of a thing that you sit in and you kind of like summon more creatures rather than just like going in it for 10 seconds and then killing 2 people in those time. It require a little bit more skill, but
yeah, I'd be okay with that.
I think Guild Wars 2 PvP is just so fast. It's hard to react sometimes.
It's gotten a lot faster ever since Hot came out,
Yeah.
So, moving on from that, 2 other minor bug fixes. Death Nova reduced the power coefficient of the Poison Nova from 0.75 to 0.6 in PvP only. And Putrid Explosion reduced the power coefficient from 1.0 to 0.8 in PvP only. So, more power coefficient reductions in PvP. Definitely understandable. Oh, goodness. Druid nerfs. Yes.
Yay.
And just generic ranger
I'm kind of sad.
Counterattack Kick. Reduce the knockback distance from 300 to 100 in PvP only. That is the flip over skill of Greatsword 4 for rangers, where if they block with the Greatsword, they can then tap the skill and kick you in the face. Probably while yelling, "This is Sparta," at least to their computer screens. reducing that knockback is great because in PvE I know 300 to 100, like 300 does not sound like a large distance, but that's a sizable distance. Now the
Yeah, you can kick someone off a node, maybe.
You can.
Absolutely, yes. If you're standing on the center of the node, that's booting someone off the node. And now that you have so much more control over when the kick fires, so that's probably for it. And then more knockback hate for rangers, druids specifically. Glyph of the Tides, increase the cooldown from 20 seconds to 35 seconds in PvP only. Because Glyph of the Tides can knock everyone off of a node. So there's that.
So they double pair on that. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I think these are good nerfs, actually.
Yeah. Like druids.
They're healthy.
Druids camping far is I see no problem with it, but like you have to be able to do something about it. You have to have a window to actually stop them. So I see like this is a good thing. Revenant Vindication, reduced might duration from 3 seconds to 1 second in PvP only. And then Heroic Command, reduced might stacks granted per stack of Callous Fervor from 2 to 1 in PvP only. So might hate on Revenants. I'm going to assume that was Renegade for both, because Vindication is the Jalis spec line.
Believes, yeah. So they're trying to force you to.
Oh, Vindication is Kala.
Oh, that's Kala?
Oh, it's all
Yeah,
Kala?
I'm on the wiki right now. Yeah, they're both. Yeah, Kala. They're both.
Okay.
They're forcing you to get concentration in order to get more boons. Like more boon duration.
Hey,
In
I
that
mean,
case.
There isn't much concentration left in PvP, though. I think it's more so just trying to, like, well, obviously, taking down a little bit of Revenant's power.
Well,
Can you
without
not get
nerfing the skills.
concentration and traits, maybe?
because at least one of the trait lines for Revenant offers concentration.
Because
Yeah,
it
if you take
feels like
Ventari.
okay, because like 1 second's just really worthless in my opinion.
It's short.
Well, isn't that like a really strong constant source of might for renegades? Those two abilities.
If you stand
Heroic Command.
So I figure the reason they're trying to reduce that is to just reduce the passive amount of might you get on a renegade. Because I remember like reading all the stuff for PvP, they kind of want like stacks, like large stacks of might. They want it to be a burst thing or something you really heavily invest in, which is why I don't think they've nerfed Juggernaut, like Scrapper, like Juggernaut Scrapper with the flamethrower. It's like, because you can keep a passive 10 stacks of might going.
Yeah, actually, Vindication also is very, very, very passive. You gain Kala's Fervor, and you also get Might. So it's kind of just playing both into the Kala's Fervor thing.
Okay.
Vindication and Heroic Command.
So I figure like you're not really doing much to invest in that with these two traits, so they're actually kind of forcing you to actually like try and get your might elsewhere, which I'm okay with.
Mm-hmm.
And then Warrior changes. Spellbreaker nerfs. Full counter. Reduce the day's duration from 2 seconds to 1 second in PvP only. And then Call of Valor. Reduce base barrier. I think this is the Warhorn. Yeah. Warhorn. Call of Valor. Reduce base barrier from 2,580 to 2,064 in PvP only. Reduced heal scaling from 1.0 to 0.5 in PvP only. Ooh. Yeah. Vigorous Shouts. Yeah, this is the spellbreak, the heal breaker build they're nerfing. Vigorous Shouts reduce heal scaling from 0.64 to 0.5 in PvP only. Banner skills fixed a bug in which a banner could be picked up multiple times, resulting in a larger cooldown reduction than intended. Because they changed
poor
banners
warrior. But also not poor warrior. Grow up.
Healbreaker was very frustrating to deal with.
Yeah.
You could eventually grind a Healbreaker down because the cooldown windows were enough that you would be able to whittle them down. But by the time you got to that point, you were usually dealing with the Healbreaker and someone else. So then you had to deal with the Healbreaker and then someone else who was getting all the boons that they were putting out. So I'm not surprised to see that. The banner skills, if people are still thinking the banners are things you can pick up and run with, they changed banners to work similar to engineer turrets, where you drop them and they can either sit there and expire, or if you pick them up, you get a refund on the cooldown. So I'm assuming with the banners is people would drop them and then just spam the shit out of the F key, and it would trigger multiple pickups. Just server client lag communication. So there was that. But then we had one final bit for PvP. The Rune of Speed reduced the movement speed bonus while under the effects of swiftness from 66% to 50%. And the Rune of Resistance increased the internal cooldown from 20 seconds to 45 seconds. I believe the Rune of Resistance gave you resistance when you used your elite skill.
Let me check. Yeah, gain resistance for 4 seconds after activating an elite skill.
Yep. So now that's
These are both good changes.
That's a 45-second cooldown now.
That is, but it is very, very passive. So,
which would work very well for people who have low
it is.
cooldown elites.
Yeah. I think Rune of Speed is probably the more impactful change.
I mean, considering it boosted the effect of swiftness from 33% to 66%. That's a little bonkers, I think.
I'm quite happy for this. Because not only has the combat itself in Guild Wars 2 gotten so much faster, but certain builds themselves have gotten almost impossible to just fight because they're running circles around you.
Yep. And it's awful.
I mean, I guess for thieves, it does. I've always liked the idea of a really slippery thief. And yeah, Rune of Speed would have been nice for this. I never really got around to trying to really perfect one.
Is that a PvP only rune, or can you use that in PvE?
I think they're both in PvE, but these are just changes to PvP.
Yeah.
But in PvE, maybe.
Imagine that would be great for a thief in WW. Zoom. Daredevil with the swiftness
Traveling
dodge.
across maps.
Well, you would really need, because it gives vitality and swiftness duration, but I would much rather have power, since I have no damage, so I need to get all the damage I can get.
Yeah.
So I'd need a rune with at least power or ferocity or something like that.
Yeah.
Weavers were probably having fun with this.
Oh, yeah.
Extra vitality on top of barrier.
Because weavers get a lot of
and swiftness. They get a lot of swiftness.
Yeah.
And they get more power based off their swiftness if they take that trait.
So maybe this is more targeted weaver nerfs.
Probably.
I'm okay with that. That doesn't matter.
You're like, Weaver can just get out of the game.
If a weaver comes up to me on a node, I'm just gonna go +1 on another fight. I don't care. I'm not gonna deal with them.
Just smack them.
I'm not gonna deal with it. I don't want to. It is not worth the pain and suffering. I don't want to do it.
If you have a Spellbreaker and a Scourge, you just rip all their boons and you just apply those condies and a lot of poison. But they'll probably still leave somehow.
That they just cleanse, and then they just kind of spin on a geyser and, whoop, 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 away. Because at the end of the pirouette, at the end of the pirouette, they just blink to a bridge where you can't target them.
Yeah.
Thank you for
so much fun.
Senslimo.
Thank you for the follow. Ooh, woo. This isn't my stream. I'm so sorry.
So that's okay. That's okay. That's a habit that sticks. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But so anything that sticks out to y'all for the balance patch before we moved on? Because the next bit I feel like is going to be one of the biggest talking points we've got.
I don't know. I just don't feel like much balance is going to be. I think it's just going to be big outliers that are going to be fixed, because I don't think there's going to be a big balance patch until the expansion comes out, because right now you're in a place where if you do a big balance patch, you're gonna probably have to do another big balance patch when the expansion comes out. Otherwise, you could just do it right now, and then with the numbers that they already know or are messing with anyway, and then they can just do a balance pass after the expansion comes out, which I'm pretty sure it could very well be in the fall. So
Yeah.
If that is the case, which I also agree with, probably what's going to happen, I really hope they just do a lot of revamping and just adjusting and really look at the balance of the game to see, because with the introduction of elite specs, it'll probably create a lot more volatile situations of like super overpowered builds while leaving the others in the dust.
I
And
still remember trying to do 0 to hero when they dropped the Path of Fire elite specs. And the two-man team
Rough.
of release Firebrand and release Scourge.
it's hard. So I really hope that they are taking. I mean, we haven't had a proper balance patch. Yeah, this helps with a couple nerfs, but we haven't really had a normal balance patch in what, like 7 months, 6 months or something?
It's been a while, yeah.
It's been a while. So I hope that they really are putting a lot of effort into not only the balance of the elite specs, but of the already existing core classes.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I do remember previously they were talking about. Somebody said on Reddit that they were part of a like closed test of the elite specs in PvP. That was a news piece we had like a month and a half ago.
Where was this?
Well, obviously they can't say anything about it. Like they can't say.
They're
what
like,
the
I'm not going to say anything, but I'm going to just tell people that I did it.
It's like we did this, and it was really fun. And I'm just like, so that at least that tells us they were gathering information about how the new elite specs fit into PvP. So there's that. But
I hope.
I just hope we don't have anything like release Scourge again, because that was awful. But
They made some, I mean, they made some questionable decisions in terms of themes of the last elite specs, which everyone has talked about for so long. I think the general theme was just big circles. Just big circles everywhere.
Raid circles. Everybody gets raid circles.
Yes.
But I can't really transition with the speaking of circles, but we do have new stuff that, well, could have been new stuff. Because Meagan Glennon, who we'll talk about leaving ArenaNet next, but she had some screenshots to share with with some interesting stuff in it. And the first bit, it looks like an Unreal Engine project, which these 5 screenshots that were shared look
Yummy.
awesome.
Slightly unpolished, but awesome.
Yeah. We get no bread, Zek. We get no bread. But I honestly, bumping Guild Wars 2 up into Unreal 4, just in a general sense, I wonder how well that would work. Like
I mean, you'd have to like DirectX 12, hopefully, as well.
Yeah, without having a fan-supported...
I hope that comes with the expansion.
DirectX 12 support? That'd be great. I
don't know how they can do it.
I know the reason they continue to support DirectX 11 is because of older systems.
Yeah.
Which I get, but come on, please.
Time to update. Put in the work. Let's go.
I don't know what kind
Let's
of
keep it pushing.
That's the problem, is dealing with like behind the scenes stuff, like DirectX levels, because it's just like you can either deal with stuff that is going to be delivered to the customer, and they're going to see it and play it and remember it, or you can give them slightly shinier graphics that they probably might not notice.
That's true. That's true. But these screenshots and Unreal Engine 4, they do... I mean, I think we're all just so parched for any news from ArenaNet or any inside. And I think
I mean, the
Personally
lighting...
speaking,
Oh, God.
I'm always a stickler for behind the scenes looks. I love the behind the scenes of voice acting, of concept art, of sound design, of animation. So like getting a glimpse behind the curtain at all is always wonderful from my end. And at least sparks a little bit more interest in my brain to be like, oh, ArenaNet, what are you guys doing?
The lighting in general in this is something that I love. Just
The lighting
look,
is pretty
the
good.
look of it.
I did notice that there was a texture, I think on that screen that just passed by with like the floating tower and the floating orb and stuff. People were saying it looks like Gintaran Fields, or some Sylvari area, but there was like the texture on the ground with like the yellow swirls, and they probably did reuse some assets. But I think I've also seen those like yellow swirls in Guild Wars 2. So I don't know if this was like a Guild Wars 2 game or some other game, but you know, Guild Wars 3 and Unreal Engine 4. I mean, they were said to be working on a project for Guild Wars 3 that fell through. So maybe this was it. Maybe this was from just the console game that they were working on, which I don't know if they still are working on. We haven't really had a lot of news about that. Do you guys know? I don't know.
I think they actually canned basically everything that's not Guild Wars 2.
So sad.
That's conjecture on my part. I have zero evidence to back that up. It's just my assumption, but I feel like that's just a thing that happened, is that everything other than Guild Wars 2 is either shelved or canceled.
Yeah, I mean the initial ones look like kind of like landscapes you would see in an RPG, War-Torn world. But it does have like that Guild Wars 2 aesthetic, but it could still be like a side project for Guild Wars 2. I don't know. But definitely the other ones that look like mobile ones are definitely for sure look like to be like, you know, those like RPG fighter games on mobile.
I suppose that's a great time to
Seems
segue
like-
into that.
Seems like
Segue.
Mobile stuff.
Mobile gaming.
looks like, yeah, because like one looked like you're in South Sun Cove, I think it was.
The one with the windmill is Gendaran. The one with the tidal pool is the South Sun. I can't place the first one. I can't remember where. Like I
I
look at
imagine
those.
Queensdale, because there were
Yeah.
apple trees and there
Yeah.
was an apple like vineyard or
It
farm.
looks, yeah, because it looks like an RPG landscape for fighting. I don't know, like in between, like on the road or something.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like there's, I don't know if there's like, it just seems like really good for that. But I don't know if you're actually traversing. I don't know.
It could have been Polymach. You're right, Tavik. It could have been
Could have
Polymach.
been. It could have been.
I know
actually, yeah.
in the pre-show,
Polymach.
in the pre-show, Mofongo brought up the possibility that it was auto chess, which actually could have been Polymach. Can you look
Oh yeah.
like an auto chess, but with, you know, all the Guild Wars 2 minis? We'll finally have a use for all of those Queen Jennas.
Just the most OP one.
Every time that pops up into one of my characters' bag, delete, instant, get out of here. I already have you 5,000 times. Get out.
Nuked. And ZeKrioX also brings up maybe an idle game, which would have been...
Yeah.
Mm,
I imagine this looks to me more like an idle game.
yeah.
Like you're going through different waves. You have it on auto. It's in the background. You're collecting different Guild Wars 2 characters. I'm not a huge mobile game person, so I don't know the terminology or anything, but that's kind of what it was giving me.
No, you're good. You're mostly accurate there, so... And yes, Sense Liamo, Jenna jokes. Anytime we talk about minis, we always joke about the stacks of Queen Jenna that no doubt still exist. And I'm sure there are people who are saving
Rip.
every single one.
For one day. You know what they could do? Have a vendor. You turn in the Queen Jenna ones for Mystic Coins. That would make everyone so sad who deleted them. but it would be great for the people that are still saving them.
You know, ZeKrioX, you bring that up. Rift had a mobile utility that also had games in it, and you could play the games and you would get materials in game for winning the games on the mobile game.
Like the MMO Rift?
Yep.
It did?
It did. They discontinued it years ago. But yeah, they totally had it was, I think it let you check your auction house stuff. It let you like look at your characters, and it was basically scratch off tickets and like tic-tac-toe stuff. And you had X
I was
number of,
heavy into Rift.
you
I
had
did
X
not
number
know
of
that.
plays per day, and you'd be able to, like, the only reason I had it for as long as I did is just because it transferred from phone to phone, much like I still have Blitzcrank's Poro Roundup from League of Legends, which hasn't been on app stores for years. It's just been transferring on my phones as things have gone. They took it off the app store even years before it stopped working. So as long as you still had it on your phone, you would just be able to get free materials every day.
That's insane.
Yeah. But
farming.
honestly, it was great for like power users of like the auction house, because you can monitor your stuff that way. And I think the WoW mobile app lets you do that, but you have to pay for that access. But honestly, I wouldn't mind like extra games branched out from Guild Wars 2. Mobile gaming is I'm not a person who really like looks down on mobile gaming. Like, I know there are a lot of people in like especially PC gaming, but also in console gaming spheres, that look at mobile gaming like it's like the dumb little sibling. Like, go sit in the corner, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, go play with your Duplo blocks. We've got like the Lego Technic sets over here. Phones, like freaking Genshin Impact on phones. Like, that game is gorgeous, and it plays on a phone. So
True.
like, phone gaming is pretty.
It's
pretty
a great
damn
market. It's a lucrative market, which is probably why they wanted to do it.
And don't you guys have phones?
I'm out. Goodbye. No. Goodbye.
Yep, Diablo
We
3
do not
memes too.
speak of-
Sorry, Diablo Immortal memes.
Hello, more. Poor BlizzCon. Was that 2019? 2018?
I don't remember.
Something around there.
God, that was a catastrophe.
The immense death of the audience at the mention of mobile.
Just the silence.
So everyone's like, I need a drink.
But any further thoughts on our screenshots here?
They're beautiful. I hope the artists got paid well and are still doing what they like to do. And it's great that we got these to like at least appreciate their art. Because I think that's another sad thing, like artists who spend time concepting or working on a project and then no one ever sees them.
Yeah, like that's awful.
And that's sad.
Yeah, I know how that.
Unless they
feels.
use them for portfolios, which is what happened in this case.
That was my last job. That was a website I poured my heart and soul into, and it never saw the light of day.
Rip.
There's really cool code on there too, but oh well. Well,
like Anthem next. Sorry.
Oh God, we can talk about that in
Just
after
say
show.
Anthem.
Next.
Oh,
We'll get there. We'll get there in after show. For those of you on YouTube, we do have the after show. So, you're talking about being able to use that for a portfolio. The back those designs were apparently done by Meagan Glennon, who, along with Lindsey Murdock, left the company recently. Let's go back to the main here.
Wish them the best.
Lindsey was a lead designer at ArenaNet, is now a game director at an unannounced project at Riot Games.
The MMO. Oh, they announced the MMO.
Yeah, unannounced project. So I know Riot has been doing a lot to earn that S at the end of their name in recent years. So there's that. Lindsey,
The last 2 years.
Yeah, the last 2 years they've been earning that S at Riot Games. But for Lindsey, she worked at ArenaNet for 15 years, In her Twitter announcement, she said, "It's been an incredible journey that has truly molded me as a game designer, leader, and human being. I will forever be grateful for my tenure in those halls. More importantly, I cherish the deep friendships I made along the way. The last few years have been full of challenges, but I can say unequivocally that the last 6 months have been among the happiest I've ever been at the studio, and I have produced work that I am intensely proud of. How ironic it is that during a time when I am feeling most hopeful for the bright future of my company, most loved by my team, and most creatively satisfied, I would be approached with an opportunity that I have dreamed of for a very, very long time. Finding that the opportunity was on a project I couldn't help but instantly fall in love with." Somebody buzzed my doors. "Finding an opportunity was on a project I couldn't help but instantly fall in love with, and a team I deeply admire, was simply the only recipe that could draw me away from my beloved Tyria. And so my next journey begins as game director on an unannounced project at Riot. Looking forward to watching the future of Guild Wars unfolding as a core franchise fan. I will always hold my time at ArenaNet in my heart."
Aw, it's actually really sad. I mean, it's sad, but it's very touching.
It's touching, yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
wish them the best. It seems like they have, direction in their life, and they're happy, and they're continuing to push forward and go after what they want. And I think that's like, despite falling in love with the game first, and then the people who work on the games, it's like they're always still going to be around making other art and contributing to other things in the game industry as a whole. So we'll see their workings around, and maybe we'll see them at a different company. Like, I think developers went over to Destiny 2, and then I'm still seeing a lot from them. So it's great to still see these people achieving.
I want to know the project that they're working on. Because I know that sounds a little like off, but no, congratulations to her. But I'm very curious because Riot has basically a mobile game of League of Legends now. They have auto chess with TFT. They have a fighter game in the works. They have a shooter with Valorant. They have RPG Legends of Terra, I believe it was. And then there was like a story version, with like a couple characters. I'm like, what else are they working on?
They're working on an MMO.
Oh yeah,
Which they
MMO, right? Which I will definitely play.
There's also a fighting game.
A puzzle game?
Maybe another RPG is like.
I mean, you can make multiple RPGs, like a single player RPG.
It's just
Dragon Age, which ties back to the anthem, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But it's very interesting. I don't know. It seems like. Huh.
I bought her cooking chopsticks.
I need those. Can you please FedEx me some?
I'll send you the link of the ones that I bought. Super cheap, actually.
You know what?
But there was a fan-made fighting game that Riot actually asked them to stop producing because they were starting to work on a fighting game. Now, I don't know. I got replacements for the other ones too. Sorry.
Hey.
Age does play Riot games, or Riot game.
Rito game.
Rito game. I know.
I don't play Valorant because of the kernel thing. I just.
Oh, because of the anti-cheat software that needs kernel access. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I reinstalled it recently, and then I remembered about it. I'm like, oh yeah, uninstall.
Yeah, that's like I get they want their anti-cheat, but like, come on, you can do anti-cheat without needing full kernel access. That's not cool. The Ruin King is coming out shortly, so it's not that project. They've got the fighting game, but again, like these are all projects that we know about. So who the hell knows?
Yeah. Maybe they're doing a cooking simulation, and it's just gonna revolutionize the industry.
Mm.
Tom Kench's
Cooking Mama?
Tom Kench's Cooking Quest.
Cooking Mama who? Cooking Mama, I don't know her. Riot Games made the best I don't know. A hunting simulator. You go out in the wild and you shoot bears. Those games are so strange and for a very special type of person that I do not understand but can respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I don't know. It's very interesting. I don't know. It seems like it's pointing towards another RPG, or it's the MMO, and she didn't know that Ghostcrawler said they were making MMO. I don't know, but
also, we talked about all those environment things from the mobile game and the Unreal asset. Meagan Glennon has been an environmental artist for Guild Wars 2 since 2016. Meagan announced the news on Twitter. Last day working at ArenaNet, so obviously I have to rickroll my team in the goodbye note. Short, sweet, to the point, with a classic. So Meagan, we wish you the best. Thank you for your efforts for Guild Wars 2, and good luck wherever you go to. So that's clearly, looking at the stuff from the stuff she shared, like, she's good.
Great art.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. Words. Fantastic design.
We're from Wisconsin. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
You want a bag?
Don't you know? Ugh. However, we do have news on one other person, and this was sadly someone passing away. Composer Stan LePard has passed away. He was a composer for 27 years. His other credited games, other than Guild Wars 2, Destiny, Halo Reach, Plants vs. Zombies Adventures, Fable 2, Flight Simulator X, or Flight Simulator 10, Age of Empires 3, Shadowrun, and Lord of the Rings Legends of Middle-earth.
That is a portfolio.
yeah, there's more, but those are the major ones that I saw.
McLean Dimer had some words to share on Twitter. I'm deeply saddened to say that last week, my friend and colleague, Stan LePard, has passed away unexpectedly. Knowing him helped shape and change the course of my life and my music. He was a big part of my work for Guild Wars 2, in addition to his own musical contributions to the game. McLean also made a GoFundMe memorial for LePard's family. I've set up a fund to help support his family as they recover from this awful situation. If you are able, I'd greatly appreciate a donation of any amount. After GoFundMe takes their fees, 100% of the money will go to Stan's wife. I know Stan would really appreciate the support the community has shown for him and his music in the last few weeks. Thank you for reading. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the link so I can throw that in chat as soon as...
Yeah, McLean also composed music for Guild Wars 2 as well.
Yep.
He's the main composer now, so...
There we go. There's the
One
GoFundMe link. And for those of you listening on Twitter, it'll be in the description as always. So that is, it's awful to hear.
Always tough to little bit, especially with music. You'll be able to listen to the echoes of his work and his art.
Yeah. I feel bad going from such a somber topic onto this next bit, but I really don't have a witty transition.
What's the next one?
Yeah,
the
maybe
next-
I should have done... It should have moved that to the second point.
Yeah.
But it doesn't... There's no good way to
That's
transition...
the problem we have with all this.
Turning the page.
That's the problem we have with all this news stacking up, is that
So much.
It gets a little unwieldy. Like,
I mean, when you watch the news, they don't really have a smooth transition from talking about
like trying to wield
people
two
dying in
swords
a
at
bus
once.
fire to...
And if you wield two
Here's
swords at
a
once,
child.
you need good skins for those swords. So hey, the infused samurai package.
Turning the page, Samurai package. We have new art, new things for you to wear coming up on Talking Skritt at 5 p.m.
News at 11. Intricate metalwork, a classic silhouette, and magic touched weapons will transform you into a samurai of superior style. The infused samurai package contains an infused samurai outfit, infused katana sword skin, infused wakizashi dagger skin, 5 crimson lion die kits, and a total makeover kit. Infused samurai outfit and infused blades package can be bought separately. News at 11. Great, now I just transferred full on to my news anchor voice. Thanks, KROOF. Thanks. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. And taking over the weather, Age.
In weather we have the newly acquired lunar.
What's your background?
Oh, I needed time to do that, KROOF. Damn it! I could have changed it. All right. Anyway, but yeah, we do have more. Lunar Man Sky Scale skin. It's new. It's 1,600 gems. And then we have the Raven Soul Dagger skin, which is also new. It's 600 gems. Almost at 16. That would have been a lot.
There it is.
So yeah, they are currently in the system, and they'll be transitioning out in the next week or two. We also have the Black Lion chest updated to the 7 Reapers chest. I believe we've had this one before. I don't remember. But the guaranteed one, the guaranteed thing that you can get from the chest is the Fine Black Lion Diecaster Blue. The uncommon stuff is the 7 Reapers Pauldrons, which is new, and you can only acquire this through the chests. Rip, sad face. And the Lunar Man Sky Scale skin you can also get from this chest. You can also get the Wandering Cloud Chair and Glider combo and Plasma Weapon Collection, and the rare things are the Fused Weapon Collection and Glyph of Reaping and Glyph of Timekeeper.
I actually rather like the Lunar Main Sky Scale, so I'm grabbing the image real quick.
Oh, no problem. But I just like every time I see a new weapon in the gem store, it's like could have been in game / could have been legendary type of deal, but that's Sky Scale though.
The Sky Scale looks pretty cool.
It looks cool, but there's something about it that doesn't look super different than like the Shimmer Wing. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
The other Sky Scale one? Something about the head. It looks good.
Like
but I'm not like, whoa, that's so different.
It's like it feels like the head is just kind of like they popped the normal Sky Scale head off and just kind of chunked a new one on.
Yeah.
So
the fur is nice. It looks a little furry.
And Falcor with
he's not wrong. Yes, never ending story. Says Nemo. That's the Luck Dragon Falcor. Just got
I just hope that we see the samurai outfit on NPCs in End of Dragons. I hope we see some nice Canthan armors, Asian-inspired art and weaponry and architecture and clothing. It's what my senses need and crave right now. Because End of Dragons. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean that'd be nice. My only problem is I want to see new stuff for End of Dragons, but it's the cynic in me is just like they're just gonna milk that like super hard. Like it's gonna get milked real hard for Gemstore stuff, and I don't want to be that super cynical about it. I really don't.
There's gonna be base ones for each. There has to be like at least 3 armor sets that they release for the expansion.
Wanted to get the Raven Soul Dagger in there, so if you want to stab people with a feather.
That too. Reporting at 11, we have a bird dagger. Someone has permanently encased a feather in hardened, sharpened resin with radioactive purple iodide. Buy this now to help support the developers and contribute to the visual bloat in game.
I don't know. The soap bubbles kind of did that.
Soap bubbles?
The legendary trinkets.
Oh, you're right. Ugh, you're right.
And then
At this point, I feel like Guild Wars 2 has just its art direction, its tone, and its themes have just been blown wide open. They're like color, acid pop, acid reflux pop.
if you compare it more to, say, a Korean MMO, things aren't really all that bad.
Okay, yeah. Terra did have police cars.
And then I do want to switch the last thing to the pauldrons that Age mentioned that are exclusive to the Black Lion chest. They look really freaking good, but they're exclusive to the Black Lion chest. So sad face. But back to visual bloat. Yeah, there's a lot of flash in the Asian market MMOs. Like, look at BDO, look at Blade and Soul. Terra, you brought up Terra. I mean, one of the classes literally has a giant Goth cannon as just its main ability, so...
Everything has a light source, which is weird.
Yeah, if you go back, like, the original part of the game, there wasn't a lot of it, and it would only be in legendaries. That's kind of like how the shiny is. But now it's like everyone can be shiny. I don't necessarily have a problem with it, honestly. But I guess I can understand some people like wanting the more simplistic style. Like, I think the samurai outfit is kind of an example of that. Except it's an outfit. You can't separate the pieces. I just
Sad.
Yeah.
I think the samurai outfit, as you were saying, is really good. It has slight effects, but it's much more subtle than other things in Guild Wars 2 that have been put out.
I think that's
it doesn't scream or have an aura type of deal.
That's my cue to bring that back up. Sorry.
The weapons, though, in the same vein as the Raven Dagger, they have these like unnecessary light trails, which are cool, but like, does it really amplify the weapon, or is it just for the sake of looking like a light streamer? I don't know. I could have done without those, the extra effects.
I think that's...
Oh, it's like Belinda's longsword katana there.
Belinda's greatsword, yeah.
What's it called? Is it Nikana?
Naginata? No, it's not a Naginata.
Naginata?
No, Naginata is a spear, which we won't get spears on land. Well, rather, I hope we get spears on land.
Coming soon.tm.
I hope. Don't quote us on that. We don't know. We have no clue.
You can sue me.
Don't accept that.
Because I'm gonna counter sue you for defamation.
Oh, okay. There's a plan. Okay.
I'm not affiliated with you. Didn't think I'd be able to quote that part of The Incredibles, but
wow.
I don't know, like
deep reference, deep salute.
Slide insert sword.
I mean, they all look good.
Yeah.
They're all really well done. I like that we're getting, even without proper news about Ender Dragons, we're still getting slight implementations of like, this is what we're working on. We're kind of priming you with this palette, with these themes, with this dressing. So I like it. Cool. It's different.
Yeah. Anything further to
you
comment
really
on
the gems? You're like,
I don't know. It's like the sky scale skin is nice. It's really cool. I didn't get a chance to really look at the model well because I decided to load that up in Lion's Arch while streaming, so it looked like a potato. But it was pretty nice. Like, I like the look of it. I'm not gonna buy it.
You know what? Can I recant a statement? Because I said the sky scale was kind of meh. And then I also went on tirade. It was like, everything's too flashy. Everything is a light source. You know what? I can appreciate the much more tamed sky scale skin. But I do think they could have done a little bit more with the modeling of the wings or something.
I can't.
But I like that it isn't like a ball of light. And
Yeah.
like a lot of the mounts have kind of been going in that direction. I've noticed recently.
I can't say anything because I bought the Griffin. On a scale of 1 to Grand Lion, I would rate it Grand Lion. Well, Grand Lion -1 because I didn't instantly buy it because I paid for the Grand Lion while it was like basically on release. So
is that the Griffin one?
It's the Griffin.
That looks so cute. I want to just smush it.
Because I dyed that imperial red, and that was in my head. It's the King of Red Lions, deep cut Legend of Zelda reference to the game that a lot of people don't like.
I liked
Wind Waker was amazing. I know.
I don't know why it gets so much hate. It was a decent one.
Are you one of those
haters
people?
gonna hate?
But that's it for one as a Pegasus, but I like it. Oh, the derpy hooves mount. I forgot about that one.
Oh no, gosh.
The derpy Pegasus.
I love
forgot
Guild
about
Wars
that.
2 has great art. Okay,
Except for
how
you.
did that get past the screening? Who said that was okay to do?
Look,
Like it was more so just the legs. Everything was wonderful.
Well,
If the
it's-
legs were just
it's
broadened a bit, a little skinnier, it would have looked maybe a bit better.
It's a shaggy pony that they put wings on. Like that's a literal horse. They put a horse in a Guild
I
Wars
don't
2.
want to feel like I'm at Chuck E. Cheese. What is this terror? I don't get it.
No, that's the Springer. That's the different premium mount skin tier list. Oh yeah, maybe. But really, truly, anything left for Gemstore before we just go roasting premium mount skins?
A mount skin tier list? You
Oh,
know what?
That's a video.
You know what?
It's a video.
I might make that video.
That's great. Now we have to have
That's
competing.
a great idea.
That's a good video.
We have to do tier list videos because I know you just did a tier list video, KROOF.
I did.
But before we get off on that tangent, community corner.
Yes.
Before this devolves any further, the Hardstuck Guild Wars 2 Tournaments in 2021 from Reddit. From user Owies Go Rar. Gonna go in chat.
Aries go rar was
Every day the gods forsake us more and more.
Yeah, but they're jerks anyway. So, Hardstuck Conquest League, open bracket, both EU and NA servers separately. No top teams are allowed in this bracket. Starts March 13th and 14th. The invitational bracket, open to EU and NA, is chosen by reputation and performance on March 20th. 3 times a year leading up to Masters of the Arena. Invitational based on the Hardstuck Conquest League performance. And then competitive raid event 1 month or 2 after Hardstuck Conquest League. Reward teams of all experience levels. Relaxed rules, e.g. no downstate rule. So they're not gonna throw out the you have to FF if you get downed.
That's good. So who wants to form a team? Because I want to win. I'm just kidding. It's a wonderful community
Like
initiative.
every time we hear about Hardstuck stuff, I'm always happy to see all the stuff getting planned for them. So
I'm glad that we still have people who have the ability to reach a wider audience take advantage of that and continue to make events in the game when we are like in a bit of a lull.
absolutely, yeah. The next one I'm really excited about. I'm actually going to try and watch this. I'm not going to compete in it, but I'm gonna watch this.
I might watch it too.
The World Beetle Champions League. It's time to crown the fastest roller beetle racer in the world. The Beetles Champion League is bringing together racers and Beetles from North America and Europe to compete in the first World Cup. You could win rare and valuable prizes, and your Beetle will be so proud of you. It'll probably even do its little dance. This event is sponsored by ANet partners Battle Efficiency, Roy, Le Bus Magique, and Kiba, along with members of the fantastic Guild Wars 2 community. Hang on, I'm going to grab
Le Bus Magique.
Le Bus
I've never heard of
Magique. In my absolutely terrible French accent. I'm still looking at the...
Oh, so that's
samurai.
French, but not ZeKrioX.
I realized we were doing all of Community Corner with Samurai up, so my apologies to Hardstuck for slapping you next to Gemstore Stuff.
Looks cool.
There's the blog post on the official page. Like, so they're on the front page of guildwars2.com. The times, the NA qualifiers are tomorrow, February 28th at 2 p.m. Pacific. EU qualifiers are February 27th, so that's today at 10 a.m. Pacific. I think the EU qualifiers are already over. EU regional finals are March 6th at 10 a.m. Pacific. The regional final, and then it's... Oh, NA region. Sorry. Break space. Got it. NA regional final is March 13th at 2 p.m. Pacific, and the World Cup final is March 20th at 11 a.m. Pacific. The prizes are a festive confetti infusion for first place, the Queen Bee infusion for second, and the Frost Legion infusion for third. And I'm pretty sure those are... So that's a wiki, because I know the wiki has lines on the trading post. Come on.
I'm guessing that's in like
Festive.
descending order of which is the most expensive.
Yes, I would assume. I'm just gonna see what the nope, doesn't. Oh, the trading post is showing the infusion, if it's power, is it depending on the stat that is on the infusion. The power infusion looks like the max is 9,500 gold.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
The lowest is toughness and expertise at 4,000 gold.
Who's running toughness and expert?
I don't know, but I mean, you can use the Mystic Forge to change the stat allocations on it. So I think that's just that. But yeah, like first place is effectively 9,500 gold. So
That's
wow.
a lot. Pretty good. I would definitely sell that and then buy one of the other infusions. Because for me, I'd be like, I would if that was just the case, I'd be like, I'm shooting for third.
It's just like you
But
just
gold-
tap backwards on the keyboard, like right at the end there. It's just
Yeah.
like,
I'd be like, oh, I put my finger off of the W key. I'm sorry.
Gold is gold, although who would pay for it? Somebody's got to buy it. I mean, the buy price is going to be there for a reason. And ZeKrioX, for me, it's Initial D. Like, all the Initial D openings. Like, Deja Vu starts playing in my head when I'm running on the Roller Beetle. And then there's Running in the 90s. And Gas, Gas, Gas. So it's all some Eurobeat stuff. I can't help it. That's...
We need a deja vu segment. Just blast it.
And then get copyright slapped.
Oh, well. For 5 seconds.
That's right. What is it? 8 seconds that we have before they slap us, or is it not?
Not on YouTube. It used to be like 30 seconds. I'm not sure about Twitch.
And we have some other stuff. A Metabattle gear checker. I don't. Anytime somebody says gear checker and equipment finder. Oh, so I guess this is something that looks against a build from Metabattle. I'm going to go to the YouTube page and actually mute the tab before it plays. I made a tool to check your character against a Metabattle build. For missing equipment, the tool is going to search through your bank, every character's inventory, and all equipped items of all characters to find it or a potential replacement. Okay, that's cool. So you basically provided a build, and it finds out if that stuff's on your account.
That's actually really convenient.
Yeah. Like, that's damn cool. I'm going to grab that link. I'm going to toss that into the Reddit link into chat here.
That sounds helpful.
Yeah. See, like, I always worry when I hear gear checker. Like, I think people want, like, a gear check in-game. And I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But,
That's a little scary.
Yeah. Your gear is garbage. Try harder. Yeah, maybe. And then finally, we have somebody who has been a name for a whole bunch of stuff. Noxxi. Noxxi has a new website. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to throw this in chat. Paste. Where's my window?
Check this out.
I anxiously and happily announce that my website is now available. I do one-time editing works for clients like video editing for YouTube, general stream channels design, animated overlays, and etc. Stream scene transitions, and anything I can do to help. So, graphic art, graphic work.
It's actually really impressive. That's very impressive. Good for them.
Ooh. Oh. Transitions and animations. Oh no, this is solid. Visual that was
really cool.
The visual effects. Noxxi even did a really good like mesmer shatter look there. That's some solid stuff.
Ooh. I want to learn how to do all this. I'm like, oh, this quality, oh, I'm hungry.
Fantastic, Noxxi. Good job, and I hope you get tons of work. Clap, clap. So, that's the end of Community Corner, which means that we've hit outro time, which means that I can click this button and say, KROOF. Where can...
Sorry, not. Oh, did I get it? No, I didn't get it.
I'm glad I put you full screen for most of that.
Oh, you did! Oh my god, you did.
So, KROOF.
Okay, wait, what do I do? What do I do?
Where can they find you, KROOF?
Hi, my name is KROOF. Not legally, but you can find me over at my YouTube channel at KROOF or on Twitter at KROOF Gaming. I make videos. I also stream on Twitch. So, you can follow me on Twitch here on the weekends. But, yeah. That's my community corner, or whatever, my outro.
Excellent. So, that leaves us with Age. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch and YouTube at Age Night Road. I played a lot of Apex this week. For those who watch, you will know I have a strong dislike for Mastiff. It's like I don't mind the weapon. I just hate getting two-shot by it after doing well in a fight and just invalidating all my work. Anyway, but yeah, that's been a lot of fun. BDO got recently updated, so I might check that out next week.
And apparently got transitioned to a completely new publisher.
It's so it's Pearl Abyss who is now publishing it now. Outriders demo came out recently. I heard it's like a mix of Gears of War and Division, so I might check that out. But yeah, that's what I got going on.
Awesome. And you can find me on Twitter at MelthanisMMO. You can find me on Tuesdays with many of these fine folk playing random-ass games. Me and Age started a new Minecraft server where instead of the sky-based thing that we were doing with the previous Minecraft server, we're going to try and build a city. Build together. Which, Age, by the way, I did a whole bunch of shit. Because I was Jones. Like, I didn't even play PvP on Thursday for Zero to Hero because I just wanted to chill and play some Minecraft. The Illagers killed all our chickens. Just showed up and crossbowed all of our chickens down. I got
I'm
revenge.
pretty sure I killed the majority of them though.
Well, they just keep spawning, like on a regular basis. The illagers show
Okay.
up and they're just like, "Hey, wah," and they shoot crossbows. It's annoying, but I have magic now and I can shoot them in the face.
I want their
So
crossbows.
I have a crossbow and several quivers. So if you want a crossbow, it's sitting in the inventory.
Nice.
So you just have to log on and move yourself to a place so I can fill in the starter hole in the ground, because if I fill that in with dirt and you log on, you'll suffocate. And I didn't want to do that to you.
Okay, I'll do that after this.
People in the stream chat were trying to get me to do that. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to prank Age like that. He is a wonderful person. But that's more rambling for me, and I can talk more about the Minecraft server in the after show, which is going to happen right now. So this is going to be the end of the show, and it's the end of the show right now. So you all have a fantastic evening, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Goodbye. Ara ara.